Just before midnight on the evening of March the 11th, 1864, tragedy struck. The Dale Dike Dam burst and after creating a path of destruction left almost 240 people dead. This is the story of Sheffield's biggest disaster.
There's a thirsty town in the valley below, crying out for clear drinking water. So they look to the hills where the rain falls at will, to provide for their sons and their daughters.
Water, the lifeblood of a Victorian town, and Sheffield was no different. As industry and the population grew, so did the need for water. By 1861, the population of Sheffield and the surrounding villages had grown to over 185,000, and between 1836 and 1854, the Sheffield Waterworks Company had already built 3 reservoirs here at Redmires on the western outskirts of the town, adding to others in operation at Crooksmoor and the Riverline Valley. This was not enough, and work began on a new set of dams in the lower Bradfield Valley, starting with Dale Dike Dam in 1859. Around the start of 1864, the dam was nearing completion and had been allowed to fill. By March the 11th, with a fierce gale blowing over the moors, the dam had 700 million gallons of water in it, and Chief Engineer John Gunson came to see how it was coping. He and Overseer George Swindon observed that the water was at a safe height, so they were not concerned, and Gunson returned home in the centre of Sheffield, 8 miles away. Shortly after Gunson had left, a workman, William Horsfield, who used the embankment as a shortcut home, noticed a crack in the dam wall and hurried off to get help. Some navvies, along with George Swindon, gathered at the dam and saw the crack was now big enough to fit a pocket knife blade. One of the men there dispatched his son, Stevenson Fountain, to summon John Gunson back to the dam. When Fountain reached the Barrel Inn at Damflast, he told of the discovery. Therefore, some in the valley were warned of the impending danger. While they were waiting for Gunson, it was ordered that sluice gates be opened to release the pressure of the dam. Gunson arrived around 10 p.m, and with the crack now bigger, he ordered that a weir be blown with gunpowder. But the gunpowder got damp, and this proved unsuccessful, and he knew that disaster was imminent. At around 11:30 p.m, as the residents of Loxley, Merlin Bridge, Hillsborough and Ollerton slept in their beds, the dam wall broke, sending 114 million cubic litres of water down the valley towards them. As the gallons of water moved down the valley, it reached Merlin Bridge, where the rivers Loxley and Riverline converge, and multiple properties clung to the river banks. It is believed to be here where 102 people were taken on this tragic night. Of these were James Trickett and his family. In all, 10 people lived in the family home, including 3 servants and a lodger. They all died in the floodwaters. To demonstrate how fierce the flood was, Elizabeth Trickett's body was found the next day in Rotherham, about 9 miles from her home. All the family are buried here at St Nicholas's Church in Bradfield. Some were lucky. John Corbett, an unmarried still tilter, lived just beyond the reach of the flood, but worked in the valley. A man of routine, he normally would have been walking to work in Merlin Bridge when the disaster took place, but for an unknown reason decided to stay in bed. It was the only time he was late for work. He lived for another 60 years. As the flood continued through Hillsborough, Ollerton and Neepsend, the force started to slow down but still wreaked havoc and destruction. The biggest single family loss occurred in Neepsend. The Gannons had managed to get it to the outside through the roof, thinking they had escaped the reach of the flood. However, the water weakened the foundations and the cottage collapsed into the water. All 8 were drowned. John, aged 36, his wife Sarah, who was 30, and their 6 children, Henry, 11, John Jr., 9, Peter, 5, William, 4, Sarah Ann, 2, and Margaret, who was only 4 months old. This snapshot of the tragedy cannot fully convey the terror, destruction and total loss on that fateful night. Sheffield's Chief Constable reported 238 had lost their lives, aged from 2 days old to 87 years. Many more would be added to this number as a direct result of the flood.
The moon shines down over Dale Dike Dam, reflects its beam to the valley. As the dam sides grow and the navvies they know, pure water to the town it'll carry. There's a thirsty town in the valley below, crying out for clear drinking water. So they look to the hills where the rain falls at will, to provide for their sons and their daughters. It's a fierce stormy night over Dale Dike Dam, and the wind lashes waves and gives no quarter. The embankment slides away and no words the navvies say, their minds filled with dread of the slaughter. Still shines over Dale Dike Dam, the carcass that split and shed its water. As the landscape heals, I can still hear the screams of Sheffield's dying sons and daughters. So we left behind as the memories fade, consider the price of fresh water. The legacy is laid and the cost has been paid for Sheffield's future sons and daughters.